Hello students, good morning. I welcome all of you in today's video. Today we are going to discuss Unit 3.2, The Fall of Troy, which is an ancient story. Before that, let me tell you, actually we have completed this story in our physical classes, but some parents insist to teach online because some students are staying at home or they are away from our school or they are living at their native places due to this pandemic. So again we are here online for you. So listen very carefully. This story has two parts. Today in this video we are going to discuss part first. So listen very carefully. Open your book and see page number 68. 3.2, The Fall of Troy. Let us discuss warming up activity, chit chat activity. The fall means destruction, and Troy is an ancient city. And let me tell you that the story talks about the destruction of the famous ancient city which is known as Troy, or another name of Troy is Ilium. The story is adapted from the Iliad by the Greek author Homer. Okay, this is all about this story. Now warming up chit chat activity. I will ask you some questions. Try to answer them. Do you know stories from any epics or mythological poems? Do you know? You can say that yes, I know. We know that there are two great epics from our country, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Or you can tell any name of any mythological poem. Next, who is your favorite mythological character? What do you like about that character? You can say Lord Rama is my favorite mythological character. What do you like about that character? I like supreme personality of Lord Rama. Or you can tell any mythological character from any story that you love, that you want. Okay. Who is your favorite warrior? My favorite warrior is Arjuna in Mahabharata, or you can say my favorite warrior is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. You can tell the name of any warrior on your own. Next, if you could visit a place in the ancient world or the mythological world, which place would you choose? Which event would you like to see? I would like to choose heaven, which is known as paradise. I would like to visit paradise there and want to sit in the court of the God of Kings. Okay, you can say like this. Now, next activity given here, building a story. How to build a story? Some steps are given here. Let us discuss those steps. Form groups of 8. The group leader prepares slips of paper for each of the 7 points given below and distributes them among the others. The group sits in a circle, taking their seats according to the number on the slip they have. Then each one completes the sentence on his or her slip without sharing it with the others. The group leader collects the slip and reads all the sentences aloud as one continuous passage. Does the story make sense? The group then works on the story to make it more meaningful and interesting. It's a group activity. 7 incomplete sentences are given and 7 groups are formed. What each group has to do? Each group has to complete its incomplete sentence. Okay, the first one is given. Once there was a dash dash. You can say once there was a farmer, once there was a prince. Once there was a girl. Once there was an old man. Okay. Second, who lived in a dash. Once there was a prince who lived in a large palace, or who lived in a hut, who lived in a small village, whatever you want. He or she ate dash dash, dry fruits or rich dishes, you can say. He she went dash dash in the forest for hunting, whatever you want. Fifth, there he saw dash dash an injured bird. Sixth, he was dash dash very sad. And seven, that is why he brought it to his palace. Okay, you can complete the sentence, read all the sentences, then try to make it meaningful. Then you will get a beautiful story. Okay, let us start part first. The fall of Troy. I have already told you that the fall means destruction and Troy is an ancient city. See the first passage. The Iliad is the story of Ilium or Troy, a rich trading center in Asia Minor near the narrow sea that leads from the Aegean to the Black Sea. The story is about that Troy city, and that Troy city is a rich trading center. It was a business center. It was well situated both for commerce and agriculture. That city was known for not only as an important trading center, but it was a commercial city. It was known for commerce, and it was also famous for agriculture. In front of the city was the sea over which sailed the ships of Troy carrying goods and grain. See how the city was situated. It was a trading center, agriculture center, it was a commerce center, and before that city there was a sea where many ships carry from goods and grains from Troy city to another cities or rest of the world. Okay, at the back rose the high peak of Mount Ida, from which flowed many rivers and streams. In front of that Troy city there was a huge sea, and back of that city there was Mount Ida, and from that mountain many rivers and streams flow. Okay, the valleys among the hills were well watered and fertile. We know the valley, the part of the bank of that rivers and streams. It was fertile one. It was well watered with corn growing in fertile fields. Fertile, a very good a field for the crop, that is known as fertile, and which crop is taken by the people. Crop like corn was taken, and cattle feeding on the rich grass of the meadows. And due to that watered area, meadows were there. Meadows means grazing places for animals were there, and it was rich grass of the meadows while sheep fed on the slope of the hills. And at the slopes of the hill, sheep feed. It was There was a Troy city, a rich trading center, commercial center, important agricultural center. In front of it, there was a huge sea where sheep carry grains and goods. Behind that city, there was mountain Ida. Many rivers and streams flowed. The land was fertile. Corn was grown there, and meadows were there. Cattle grazed there, and sheep also grazed there. Okay, this is all about that Troy city. Around their city, the Trojans had built a strong wall so that no enemy should attack them from the sea. The people who lived in Troy were called as Trojans. The Trojans were brave warriors. To avoid the attack from foreign country, they had built a strong wall around their city, around that Troy city. The wall was so broad that people could stand and sit and walk on it. The wall was very broad, means a very broad wall was built there. People can walk there, people can sit there, and people can uh, stand on that wall. The great gate stood open and people could go to the seashore outside and come in as they pleased. And there was a gate, a huge gate was also there. People go outside, they become fresh and come again inside the Troy city. It was their habitual action. But in time of war, the gates would be closed, and then the city was like a strong fortress, quite safe from all attack, protected by the walls surrounding it as well as by the hills behind. Whenever the battle was fought, it was time of war, the gate was closed and it was just like a strong fort, and this Troy city was naturally protected by the sea, that great wall, and as well as the hills behind. Ida, a mountain was also there behind. In this way, it was a well protected city, and the Trojans also defend any war, any attack from their enemies. This is all about this city. ओके, आता मुळात काय आहे, द फॉल ऑफ ट्रॉय हा जो पाठ आहे, या पाठामध्ये काय सांगितलेलं आहे, ट्रॉय किंवा इलियम या प्रसिद्ध व प्राचीन श्रीमंत व्यापारी शहराच्या ऱ्हासाची कथा सांगितलेली आहे. हे शहर कसं ऱ्हास पावलं, आणि ही कथा तुम्हाला मी सांगितलं ग्रीक लेखक होमर यांनी इलियाड या कवितेतून घेतलेली आहे. आणि एवढंच नाही तर ट्रॉय काय आहे, हे अतिशय महत्त्वाचं व्यापारी केंद्र आहे, शेतीसाठी महत्त्वाचं आहे, कमर्शियलसुद्धा आहे, आणि त्याची रचनाच अशी आहे, त्या शहराच्या समोर एक खूप मोठं समुद्र आहे, ज्या समुद्रातून व्यापार चालतो, जहाजामधून वगैरे धान्य किंवा माल ने आण होते. त्यानंतर त्या शहराच्या पाठीमागं काय आहे, इडा नावाचं खूप मोठं पर्वत आहे, ज्या पर्वतातून अनेक नद्या ओढे उगम पावतात, त्यामुळे तो भाग सुपीक बनलेला आहे. आणि त्या ठिकाणी काय आहे, कॉर्न म्हणजे मकाचं पीक घेतलं जातं, आणि बाकी जे एरिया आहे त्या ठिकाणी गवताची कुरणं आहेत, जनावरं वगैरे चरतात, उताराला मेंढ्या वगैरे चरतात, आणि अशा प्रकारे एक सुजलाम सुफलाम समृद्ध असलेला हा तो भाग आहे. आणि एवढंच नाही तर जे ट्रोजन्स आहेत म्हणजे ट्रॉयमध्ये राहणारे लोक आहेत, त्यांनी काय केलं आहे, आपल्या शहराच्या भोवती प्रचंड मोठी भिंत बांधलेली आहे. एवढी मोठी ब्रॉड रुंद आहे, ज्यावर लोक थांबू शकतील, बसू शकतील, चालू शकतील, आणि त्याला एक सेंटरमध्ये गेट आहे. आणि अशा प्रकारे गेट नेहमी ओपन असायचं, लोक बाहेर जायचे, त्या समुद्रकिनारी मस्त फ्रेश व्हायचे आणि आत वगैरे यायचे. हे त्यांचं डेली रुटीन चालायचं. आणि ज्या वेळेस युद्धाची वेळ असते, युद्ध सुरू होतं, ते गेट बंद असायचं. आणि बंद असल्यामुळं काय आहे, ते शहर म्हणजे जणू काय एक प्रचंड मोठा तटबंदी आहे, एक किल्ला आहे, अभेद असा, ज्याला कुणीही हरू शकत नाही, अशा प्रकारे संरक्षित केलेलं होतं. मागे नैसर्गिक पर्वत, पुढे समुद्र आणि चारी बाजूनं खूप मोठी भिंत. हे लक्षात तुमच्या. Now some margin questions are given here. How did the location of Troy help it to grow into a very rich, prosperous city? As I told you, in front of that city there was a sea where ships carry goods and grains, and behind that city there was a huge mountain Ida, where many rivers and streams could flow, and the part of that valley was very fertile. Crops like corn were grown there, sheep, cattle grazed there in the meadows. Okay, in this way it was a very rich and prosperous city, you can say. How were the Trojans protected during wartime? During wartime, the Trojans closed the gate and actually it was the Troy city was surrounded by strong wall, and behind there was Ada mountain. In this way the Trojans protected during wartime. Okay, see the next one. Thus Troy was a strong city, strongly protected by its walls and strongly defended by its brave soldiers. In this way, Troy was a very strong city, and the people, the soldiers of Troy, also very brave soldiers. But all the kings and heroes of Greece had declared war against the Trojans because Paris, a prince of Troy, had persuaded Helen, wife of a Greek king Menelaus, to elope with him. Let me tell you that all was well, all was going well. But one day, what happens? The prince of Troy, who was Paris, he persuaded the wife of Greek king Menelaus, and he eloped her and kept her in Troy in his palace, and that was the cause the Greek or Greece kings declared a war against Troy. This is the main reason why all the Greek kings stood united and they declared war against Troy. The Greeks wanted to take revenge on Troy for the wrong done to Menelaus. We know that the Greek king was Menelaus and his wife was Helen, Paris, the prince of Troy, who eloped with Helen, and the Greek kings wanted to take revenge, so they declared a war. After that, they sailed to Troy and laid siege to the city. Greek kings, soldiers, they sailed there and they came at Troy city and they seized that city. Siege means surrounded by army. Now the Troy city was surrounded by Greek army. The Trojans too fought hard and the siege continued for 10 long years. Every day there was a fight, and that battle was last for 10 years. The siege continued for 10 long years, not 1 or 2 years, but 10 years. The fighting went on daily, but the siege did not end. On the one hand, the Greeks could not take the city, and on the other hand, the Trojans could not force them to sail away. See, the war continued for 10 years. On one side, the Greek soldiers could not win that city, could not take that city, and the Trojans also could not force them to sail away. That means every day there was a fight, but no one was defeated and no one was won. Every day the Trojans came out of their gates and the Greeks came out of their tents and ships, and the fighting went on. Every day there was a fighting. Early in the morning, Trojans opened the gates, and Greek soldiers also come out of their tents and they had a fight. Okay, sometimes what happened? There were great battles between the two armies. Sometimes there were single fights between two great heroes. Sometimes there was a great battle between two armies, and sometimes single heroes fight with each other, and sometimes the Trojans had the better of it and sometimes the Greeks. Sometimes Trojans had better performance on the field, and sometimes the Greek had such type of better performance on the field, but still the fighting went on. There was no end for that fight. It was continued, it was still going on. Are you getting? Then great heroes on both sides were killed in the course of the war. We know that the war lasts for 10 years, 10 long years, and in the course of that battle, in the course of time, great heroes from both the side, they lost their lives. After leading the defense of his city for 9 years, the brave Hector was at last killed by Achilles, whom none could resist. Hector was also from Trojan, prince of Troy city, and he defended his city for 9 years. But in last year, he was also killed by Achilles, whom none could resist. But Achilles himself was killed later on by a poisoned arrow that entered his heel, the only part of his body where he could be wounded. But Achilles himself was killed because one of the poisonous arrows hit his heel, and that was the only part where he could get wounded or disturbed. Still later, Paris himself was killed also by a poisoned arrow. Paris also, the main cause of that battle was Paris. He was also killed in the course of time by a poisoned arrow. The Trojans were tired of being shut up in their city, and the Greeks were longing to see their homes again. It was the condition of both the sides. The Trojans were tired of being seized in that city for the last 10 years, and the Greeks were also a strong desire to return their homes. But still the fighting went on. There was no end for that fighting, but still the fighting went on. पुढच्या पार्टमध्ये काय म्हटलंय, आपल्याला शहर कसं होतं ट्रॉय हे लक्षात आलं, आणि अशा प्रकारे त्या ट्रॉयचे सोल्जर्ससुद्धा सैनिकसुद्धा शूर होते. पण एकदा असं झालं, ग्रीक किंवा ग्रीस या देशातले सगळे हिरो आणि राजांनी काय केलं, त्या ट्रॉय शहरावर हल्ला बोलला, आक्रमण पुकारलं. त्याला कारणीत हस होतं. ट्रॉयचा जो राजकुमार होता पॅरिस, त्यानं काय केलं होतं, ग्रीकचा राजा मेनेलॉस याची पत्नी हेलन हिला काय केलं होतं, लाडी गोडीनं तिचं मन वळवून तिला पळवून नेलं होतं आणि कुठं ठेवलं होतं, ट्रॉयमध्ये. हेच कारण होतं ज्या ग्रीकच्या सगळ्या राजांना याचा बदला घ्यायचा होता, म्हणून त्यानं काय केलं, ट्रॉयवर आक्रमण करायचं ठरवलं. आणि ते सेल करत म्हणजे जहाजाद्वारे आले, ट्रॉय शहराजवळ आले, आणि त्या ट्रॉय शहराला वेढा घातला सैनिकांचा. आणि अशा प्रकारे दररोज युद्ध व्हायचं, आणि ते युद्ध 10 वर्ष चाललं. दररोज व्हायचं. कधी काय व्हायचं, या 10 वर्षामध्ये ग्रीक लोकांनी त्या शहर कॅप्चर केलं नाही, आणि ट्रोजन लोकांनासुद्धा त्यांना परतवून लावू शकले नाहीत. पण दररोज युद्ध व्हायचं, आणि अशा प्रकारे दररोज ते टेंटमधून बाहेर यायचे, हे गेट काढून बाहेर यायचे, युद्ध व्हायचं. कधीकधी आर्मीमध्ये खूप मोठं तुंबळ युद्ध व्हायचं. कधीकधी ग्रेट हिरोज एकेकामध्ये युद्ध व्हायचं. ट्रोजनचा एक ग्रेट हिरो, त्या ग्रीकचा एक ग्रेट हिरो. पण कधीकधी ट्रोजन्स चांगलं परफॉर्मन्स करायचे त्या युद्धामध्ये, आणि कधीकधी ग्रीक करायचे. पण कुणाचाही पराभव व्हायचा नाही, कोणीही जिंकायचं नाही, आणि अशा प्रकारे ते युद्ध चालू राहायचं. नंतर मग कालांतराने 8-9 वर्ष झाले. अनेक शूरवीर योद्धे दोन्हीकडले मारले गेले, ज्यामध्ये हेक्टर जो आहे ट्रॉयचा राजकुमार, तोही ॲचिलसद्वारे मारला गेला. पण नंतर ॲचिलस जो ग्रीकचा राजा आहे, त्यालाही स्वतःला काय एक विषारी बाण लागला, जो त्याच्या टाचेला लागला, आणि ती एकच जागा अशी होती त्याच्या शरीराची ज्यामुळं त्याला दुखापत किंवा इजा होणार होती, तोही गेला. नंतर एका अशाच विषारी बाणाद्वारे पॅरिससुद्धा गेला, जो या सगळ्या म्हणजे युद्धाचं मूळ कारण होतं. आणि अशा प्रकारे 10 वर्ष युद्ध चाललं, पण शेवट झालं नाही. ट्रोजन्स जे आहेत त्यांना कंटाळा आला त्या शहरामध्ये बसून, आणि ग्रीक सोल्जर जे आहेत त्यांनासुद्धा आपापल्या घरी जायची तीव्र इच्छा झाली. पण ती फायटिंग तशीच चालू होती, युद्ध तसंच चालू होतं. दिस इज ऑल अबाउट पार्ट फर्स्ट. यस, डू यू अंडरस्टँड? Again, some questions are given in the margin. What was the cause of the 10-year-old war between the Greeks and Trojans? As I told you that the main cause was that Paris, a prince of Troy, had persuaded Helen, the wife of a Greek king Menelaus, to elope with him, and that's why the Greek kings wanted to take revenge of that insult. Okay, this is the main reason. Who were the brave heroes on either side who were killed in the war? Hector, Achilles, Paris. These were the brave soldiers. This is all about part first. Read this part first again and again for better understanding, and complete this English workshop. Okay, let's stop here. Thank you. Have a nice day.